Hi guys and girls on YouTube, and welcome to my channel. In this video we're going to be taking a trip down memory lane back to the 1990s when I was a Samsung dealer. Now I've been doing a bit of tidying up in here because things are getting out of control, and I've actually been through my archives and I've found quite a lot of stuff that will make an interesting video. So we're going to be looking at this Samsung TV. It's a CI6229T. And back in the 90s I used to sell these. I'm not sure whether they were £399 or £379, but I've even found the original sales invoices for these sets when I used to buy them, and I found some old pictures and quite a lot of stuff. So let's just move on. So that's the original sales brochure from the 90s. Now that's the TV we're going to be looking at there, the CI6229T. All the TVs on this page, all bar I think one, I've actually sold all these models, and I've probably still got receipts for these. That was the best selling one at the time, the CI3312Z 14-inch colour portable, the Toshiba black stripe tube. I used to sell them for £179 and they were flying out the door. They were so popular. I've never sold that one, but everything on this page I've sold. Videos, I've sold more or less every one of these on here. The audio players, I actually own both of these, one of them and one of them. Now the 1990s were actually pre-internet. You had to do everything by phone or fax. So I found all these fax transactions in a file. As you can see, that one's dated 1995. Apart for Samsung Video under warranty. And yes, there's an awful lot of stuff here. Samsung warranty claim forms. If we take a look at this one. Dated 1996, that one. A magnetron for a microwave oven. Now if you look at that, the price, £40 for just the magnetron to do a repair. These days you could buy the whole brand new oven for about £40. That there is a warranty repair for somebody's microwave. Newspaper cutting there from my old shop. Brand new Samsung TVs on display. Few photographs here. That's me a long time ago. Another picture there, but that's not actually very good. I think that telly in the background is £679. That's me again, long time ago. A little bit later photograph there when I started selling Sharp TVs, videos and microwaves, as well as Samsung. Right, I can't actually just find the receipt for this particular telly, so let's have a look at some others how we've changed. So that's the CI5013T. It's a 20-inch with teletext. Well, here's the receipt from 1991, 5013T, and it was £194.75 plus VAT. So I was paying £223.96 just for a 20-inch telly. But when you bear in mind these were selling for £299, that was a big markup back then. Right, so that was the best seller, the CI3312Z, and if we have a look here, there's a receipt for, again, 1991, 5 of those TVs. I was paying £646.25 for 5 TVs, and they were selling at £179, and you couldn't get enough of them. 1991 receipt for a 2-head long play video. That was £191. And let's have a look at this here, 1991 statement. So that was 2,142.30. I mean, back in 1991, that was a lot of money compared to today. Incidentally, this company went bust years ago. I wouldn't be surprised if I've got every service manual there is, from the very early tellies, the very early videos, and I've only just pulled out, I've not pulled out the whole lot because I've got thousands of them. I've just pulled out a few here to look at. More early videos. Yeah, that's the one I've got at home. Hi-Fi, right up to the later ones where they changed the Samsung logo. If you remember, that was the logo on the early stuff, and then they changed it to that. Now look at all this. This comes from a time when Samsung really cared about their sets. They made good sets, and they also backed up all the dealers. If there was ever a problem, Samsung would investigate it, and a technical bulletin would be released. Now these are just a few to show, but if we look at these, let's move to and then move over here. These of course cover videos, audio, microwave. That's a modification for a video. Now I remember there was one telly where they didn't actually get the problem sorted, and actually a couple of tellies I came up with a modification. I actually sent them into Samsung. I don't know if they did anything about them. So the first one here related to the CI5012Z. It didn't degauss when you switched it on, and actually I came up with this modification, and I sent it into Samsung. That's one. Alright, that's the problem I found on the Teletext set that I sent into Samsung. Now just before we take a look at this telly, I've just got to mention one last thing, and this has to be the biggest disaster that Samsung ever had. It related to a chassis, a video recorder, the VI-K310, 320, they were most popular because they were cheaper end, but they called it the Winner 1 chassis, and the problem was on the power supply, it was a capacitor used to dry up, and all the output rails of the power supply all rose up, and there was no over voltage protection on the power supply. And what used to happen is on the main board, there's just a single PCB, all parts used to burn up, the print used to burn up, and Samsung actually produced a modification kit which they used to send out free of charge. But in a lot of cases, because the video was left on powered all the time, and customers wouldn't notice till the burning smell, you had to change the whole PCB, the whole of the video board. And Samsung were even sending these brand new boards out for nothing because the boards were in such a state they were beyond repair. So let's just take a quick look at it. That's the cap that used to dry out. And I think all these parts here, I think that's what came in the modification kit. But if you look there, it fit a 27 volt 1 watt Zen. The idea of that was it was to avalanche and short out the power supply in case of any future failure. But once you'd actually replace that capacitor with a better quality one, you never had that fault. But like I say, most of these had to have a replacement board fitted. In fact, if we turn this page over here, it says if there's any burning on the PCB, then the main PCB should be replaced as a complete item, and I changed loads and loads of them. It has to go down in history for the biggest disaster that Samsung ever had. So right, enough of that, let's get the back off this telly and have a quick look inside, and then we'll power it up. Right, so there we go, that was Samsung back in the 1990s. Let's just take a quick look at this and then we'll power it up. Everything's so easy to get at. These are all what I call industry standard chips. If Samsung didn't have them, you can get them from anywhere, probably with the only exception of the microcontroller. But all these are just industry standard. It's on two boards, the signal's on one side, power and line time base on the other. Let's have a look at the tube. Oh, this has actually been repaired by me. 2002. That's when I moved from Fairfield Road onto Terrace Road onto the main high street. In fact, what that sticker says there is all new rubbers, and that relates to these scan coil rubbers. The ones in here must have been the electrically conductive one, and I've replaced these and put silicon in, brown silicon there. That's a picture of the underside of the board. I've had a look, I can't see any dry joints, I can't see anything that needs doing. Right, well that's the telly on. Let's just do the volume. You can see the on-screen display.
Is going to attend. He is due to attend it, but we'll keep an eye on that huge crowd, as you can see.
Yeah, just try another channel.
I don't know what it feels like. I'm going to say Colchester. It's a bit more
high profile.
Yeah, just how I like it, plenty colour. But I've just turned it down a little bit because that's a bit excessive actually, even for me. But yeah, as you can see, it's a perfect picture. So I actually find it quite sad really that this once great company has really gone downhill. So let's contrast that with a new Samsung TV of today. Now somebody brought this in for repair. It's actually been here about 6 months because he didn't want the set back. So here's the original receipt for it when he bought it. 21st of September 2020, but it must have been here 6 months. It cost £249. Now today with the Samsung tellies, there's no service manuals, there's no backup, there's no parts. All you can do is swap the whole board. In fact, this is one of the very later ones with the screwless back, and let's just take a look at the model. There's no parts available at all, you just have to put in a brand new board. So let's just take a look at the board, bearing in mind that this was only £249 when it was new. Well, that's the new board there. Trade price is £92.94 plus VAT plus delivery. So you're probably looking at a repair of about £160, and that's why the guy said he's not paying that. He said you can just keep the set and I'll buy a new one. So there we go everybody. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Please subscribe to my channel for some more, and carry on subscribing. I'll catch you in the next video everybody. Goodbye.